Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned into the news at noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Isani Cayetano and here's what's making headlines today. Belize's public servants vote yes to government's salary proposal. Tragedy in Key Corker, teen killed in brawl with off-duty cop days before U.S. Army enlistment. Chaos in Orange Walk, police officers stabbed multiple times during nightclub brawl. And Belize has a new queen and she's headed to the global stage. These stories and more are coming up in just 1 minute.
I'm Brittany, one of the newest faces around here. My stories are heartfelt and bring a fresh perspective. On the job, there is no challenge too great. Flooded highways, raging fires, or asking tough questions. My determination and willingness to connect with people help to deliver stories that put you, our viewers, at the forefront of issues. My motto: accurate, timely, and relevant. I am News 5.
Welcome back. Belize's public servants have spoken. But what are they really saying? In a recent vote, more than 75% of members of the Public Service Union agreed to accept the government's latest salary and increment proposal. On the surface, it looks like a clear win for compromise and progress. But with nearly 1 in 4 members voting no, the results also raise deeper questions. Is this truly a step forward for all public officers? Or is it just the best option in a tough situation? The PSU's leadership has pledged to move ahead with the agreement while also keeping a close eye on how and if the government delivers on its promises. At the same time, they're preparing for the possibility of industrial action should things go off track. This vote may be over, but the real work is just beginning. As the union turns its attention to pension reform, cost-saving measures, and good governance, the question remains, will this deal bring lasting change or just temporary relief? A deadly altercation in the heart of Key Corker village has claimed the life of 19-year-old Belizean American Kevin Depaz. He was just days away from starting a new chapter in the U.S. Army. Instead, his life was cut short in a violent brawl involving an off-duty police officer. Kevin was simply out getting food with a friend when the situation turned deadly. Now his body lies in the KTMH morgue, and serious questions are being raised about what really happened that night and why. Here's more from Assistant Superintendent Stacey Smith.
So far, what police have learned is that 2 off-duty police officers were in front of a fast food establishment when they observed a golf cart with male occupants stopping at their location, and one of the male occupants is reported to have shoved an individual who was similarly at the fast food stand. It is reported that the officers intervened to this ongoing altercation and the male persons would have departed. It is reported and alleged that that golf cart with the male person along with other male persons returned to the location shortly thereafter, and an altercation ensued between the off-duty officers and the occupants of the golf cart. The altercation resulted in the fatal stabbing of 18-year-old Kevin Depaz, the injury to one of the police officers by way of a stab wound, and another injury to the other officer, as well as the injury of Canol, who is reported to be in a stable condition, and another male person, Nishan Allen, that was in the group, who is reported to be in a critical condition. The police's investigation into this matter continues. The commissioner has emphasized the need for a thorough investigation to be conducted both by the Major Crimes Unit of the Police Department and the Professional Standards Branch. Commissioner Rosado has also reached out to the family of the victim in this incident and is heading out to San Pedro, to Kikaka, in relation to this incident.
A night out in Orange Walk took a violent turn this weekend, leaving a police officer seriously injured and a community rattled. Constable David Banner was on duty helping to keep the peace at a local establishment when things spiraled out of control. A group of men reportedly tried to force their way in, and what started as a confrontation quickly turned into chaos. In the middle of the scuffle, Constable Banner was stabbed viciously by 2 of the men involved. He is now recovering, and police are investigating what led to this brutal attack on one of their own.
Police have detained 2 male persons in connection with the stabbing of Police Constable David Banner, who was providing security at a nightclub in Orange Walk. Initial investigations revealed that at approximately 3:25 a.m., PC Banner, along with another officer, were conducting security at the business establishment when a group of male persons sought to gain entry. They were denied as the establishment had already closed. However, the group of male persons is reported to have attacked the officers, which resulted in the injury to the police constable David Banner.
A fatal collision along the TV Ramos Highway has claimed the life of Jeffrey Carl, a resident of San Isidoro Village. What was likely a routine journey ended in heartbreak as emergency responders rushed to the scene but were unable to save him.
On Friday, 27 June 2025 at approximately 6:50 p.m., police responded to reports of a traffic accident near mile 45 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway in southern Belize. Upon arrival at the scene, officers observed 19-year-old Aaron Carl and 20-year-old Jeffrey Carl with varying degrees of injuries. Both male persons were rushed to the Independence Polyclinic for treatment. However, Jeffrey Carl of San Isidro Village succumbed from the injuries he sustained in the accident. Initial investigations revealed that Aaron Cal was walking near mile 45 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway heading to Bella Vista when he was hit by a motorcycle being driven by Jeffrey Cal.
Over the weekend, the spotlight shone brightly on Isabella Zabane, who was officially crowned Miss Universe Belize 2025. She now carries the crown on hopes of a nation as she prepares to represent Belize at the Miss Universe pageant in Thailand later this year. Zabane takes over from Halima Hoy, who proudly flew the Belizean flag in Mexico City last November. This year's pageant wasn't short on grace and glamour, with 4 other inspiring young women, Monisha Hyde, Imani Jex, Libni Rodriguez, and Hope Panton, vying for the title. In the end, Monisha Hyde was named first runner-up, and Hope Panton took second runner-up, also earning the title of Miss Photogenic. Meanwhile, Imani Jex was honored as Miss Congeniality. It was a night of elegance, empowerment, and Belizean pride, and the journey for Miss Universe Belize 2025 is just beginning. That's a wrap for the news at noon, but don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit greaterbelize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes tomorrow morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización.
Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver 2 grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.